people. Today we are doing a set of medium length oval tips. I wanted this set to be very soft, delicate, and subtle, so hopefully we got that. I think we did, but we'll see. Okay, I'm starting off with this. This gel is a Seashell color gel, which I got off of I don't know, a couple of years ago now, probably at least. It's very sheer, and as you can see by looking on my brush there, it's got a little skosh bit of gold in there. Gold color, gold shimmer, or whatever it is, I don't know, but it's a really pretty pink, I know that much. Okay, and as I said, it's very sheer, so that was the first coat. Now we're going in with the second coat. And I will be putting 3 coats on here. I probably could have got by with 2, but just to be on the safe side, I went and put a third one on, which you'll see in a minute. It was very easy to work with, and yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. Okay, that's going to cure, and now we're back for coat number 3. Like magic. This set took me about 2 hours to do, give or take a little. There was nothing difficult about it, so pretty much any skill level should be able to handle this one. And once we get this last bit on here, I will get those cured and we can move on. Okay, we're going to get base coat out, and we're going to put a thin layer of base coat. There's a lot of layers to this, so you would think the nails would get real bulky and big, but they really didn't, so I was kind of surprised. But we're just going to base coat a thin layer on all of these on this rack. I thought I sped this section up, but it doesn't seem like it is, does it? I'm still at home, in case anybody's wondering. I didn't get out to my parents' place yet. Our car crapped out on us a week ago, and we had to replace the computer in the car. So there's a big chunk of money. Okay, moving on. We're using this chunky iridescent glitter. And I will just take a brush, a little tiny brush, not a good brush, just a kind of crappy old one I have. With a little bit of that base coat on it, and then I'm just going to pick up these glitters, and I'm just going to randomly place bits of them on here. Now, these are just going to be like in the background, so I don't want a whole ton of it on, but I do want it to show up a little bit. Anyway, we've been stuck at home here, all 3 of us here in the house for a week now. No car, we can't go anywhere, can't do anything. Had to resort to ordering groceries in, which we've never done before, so that's been an experience. Hopefully they'll get it fixed soon. Okay, what I'm going to be doing here, after I get it all on there, then I'm going to kind of go over again, and if there's any bunches of it that are clumped together, you'll smooth them out, spread them out a little bit more, smooth them out. We're just trying to avoid having any really big pieces of stuff sticking up. And we're just checking for stuff. See, those were a bunch of it clumped together, so I'm just going to spread it out more. I don't usually like to have a bunch of those bigger chunks right together because they, those are the ones that really pick up the light, and those are the ones you're going to see the most. Okay, moving on, we've got this assortment of butterfly glitters. This came from AliExpress for pretty cheap, and there's enough in here that'll probably last me the rest of my life. Unless I have to start making a crazy amount of nails. I can't imagine going through all of those. I'm going to be using the white ones, and we're just going to put one, maybe two on some of the nails. But mostly they're just going to have the one. And right now I'm just going to plop them on there. One on each nail, except for the pinky, which is going to get 2 butterflies and no flowers. I believe I was out of shot when I was sticking them on the pinky nail, so you're not going to see that one, but you get the gist. And then once I get those on, I'm going to kind of go back and move them around so I can get them in a place where I know they're going to lay flat, nice and flat. Ideally, they should be near the top or off to the side a bit, because we're going to have flowers in the middle, bottom kind of areas. That guy there did not want to cooperate. He's not laying down flat, and then frankly he needs to be up higher, so I don't know why I left him there. I think I'm going to move him. You can see how the wings are sticking up still. I need to get him in an area where he can be flatter. Okay, there we go. And these will be ready to go in for curing once I'm done fussing with them here. Okay, I think we're good to go. And there they are, been cured. Now we're going to go over them with another layer of base coat, kind of a heavy layer, to help even out where the glitters are. And there we go with that. Once this is on here, we're going to cure it. I'll hold it upside down for a few seconds so it can run up to the middle. And then now we're going in with a rather heavy layer of top coat. I'm using a tempered top coat because I like the hard, I like how hard it gets. Versus the no wipe top coat, which is a softer gel. You could use either one, it doesn't matter. My preference is just the tempered one. Okay, once we get this on here, we're going to cure this one. I'm going to hold that down so it runs to the center of the nail and away from the edges. Okay, now that's all cured. Now we got to buff and file, or file and buff. Mainly I'm just going to file off anything that's sticking up a lot. There really wasn't much on these. And then I will go back in with my buffer, which is a 100-180 buffer, I believe. I'm just going to give them a buff. Try not to do too much. Do as little as possible to get them smoothed off, because you don't want to file through those butterflies. The other glitters underneath doesn't totally matter if you file through some of those, but you don't want to file through the butterfly because they'll lose its shape and they'll look like a weird thing on there. And I'm just going to show you these two, and then I'll do the rest of them off camera. Okay, now I have done the rest of those. I'm just going to give them a quick wipe with some alcohol to get all the dust off of there from the filing and the buffing. Oh, and there goes one. Okay. And I'll just quickly go over the other ones. These are the second hand. And now we're ready for the next step. And we're going to go back in with top coat. I mean, not top coat, base coat. With these. I'm just going to give them another thin layer of base. Now you're probably going to be wondering why I didn't put these petal, tulip petal bits in there with the rest of that before I encapsulated those. You could do that totally if you want to. It would save you some steps. But I wanted to have a little bit more separation between the flowers and the background glitters. So a layer or two of, top coat, base, whatever all else will give it a little bit more separation. Okay, those kind of salmony pink ones there on the end are the ones I'm going to use. Now these came from AliExpress also. You've seen me use these before. I did a set last summer, I believe, that I used these on. Okay, now we're going to take two of them and we're going to lay them with the pointy ends together, and they should ideally overlap so the point on the right and the point on the left kind of overlap. So what you end up with are 3 points at the top. Now there's a little bit more base coat on here than I really need. That's why they're migrating and kind of swimming around on me. But I'll fix those up again as we go here before I cure them. But I'm putting these together like this instead of going around like petals on a regular flower because I want them to look like tulips. Frankly, they kind of look like tulips on their own with just the single petal, but I want them to be a little bigger. Now these nails were inspired by somebody's nails I saw on Instagram, and I foolishly did not take a screenshot of them at the time, and I cannot remember whose they were. She had done this same kind of deal with these petal bits to make the tulips, which is where I got the idea from. The rest of this is different than how she did, but I thought that was a pretty clever idea, so I had to steal it. If I knew who it was, I would totally give her credit. But like I said, I don't remember who it was. And I did spend about 40 minutes on Instagram searching to see if I could find them again, to see who it was that did them, but I couldn't find who it was. So I'm sorry. And we got one more to go on this set, on this rack. We're not putting any flowers, tulips on the pinky nail. Okay, now we're going to try and get these guys lined up the way I want them. And I will do a little bit more fussing with them to get them to be cooperating. And once I am happy with them, they'll go in for curing. I'm just trying to decide if I want to move them around a little more. Okay, I think we're happy, and now they've gotten cured, and now we're going to go back over this with another layer of base coat. Excuse me. And once they're cured, then we're going to go over that with another layer of the top coat, the tempered top coat, or whichever top coat you're using. And then I will cure that after I'm done fooling around. It was starting to bead up a little bit on the tulip petals, so I had to brush it out again. And I'm going to hold it upside down for a little bit so it will run off to the middle. Then we're buffing again. Now there really wasn't anything sticking up, so this is just going to be a quick buff just to make sure there's nothing, and just if there's any bulky areas, I'll take them down at this point. I'm going to show you these two, then we're going to move on. I'll do the rest off camera. And we're moving on to a little tiny bit of hand painting on here. I'm using this mud gel as my stem paint. I'm not going to be doing leaves, I'm just doing a stem. Okay, getting out the old detailer brush. And I'm going to loosen that mud gel up a little bit so I have some areas that I can grab easy from. Darn it, there goes my alarm on my phone again. I thought I turned it off. And we're just going to paint a very thin, little delicate stem going down. Now if you'll notice, I've left a little bit of a blob at the base of the flower. We're going to go back into that blob and we're going to pick up just a little bit and just drag it out to either side, so it's kind of like the little part of where the stem hooks onto the flower. There's usually some kind of extra leafy, little bit there. I don't know. I'm at a loss to what to call that part. And I'm just going to even out the stem a little bit more. And once I am happy, we'll move on. And we're just going to do the same thing on all of these where there are flowers. Obviously, there's none on the pinkies. And now that I've gone past my time in here, as that's what the alarm was for, to let me know I was out of time. I'm surprised I don't have cats outside the door meowing like crazy, because this is the time they eat dinner. They're just going to have to wait till I get this voiceover done. I know on the last video I had mentioned I was going to probably do an avocado nail set this time. Well, obviously I didn't. I did this one instead. I do have my stuff set up though, and I've picked out my colors and all that, everything ready to go. So the next one after, well, not after, yeah, after this, the next one will be the avocado set, because I'm ready to go for it now. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming up. After that, I'm not sure yet what I'm going to do, but we'll see. Hopefully I'll be on my trip at some point in there. And was that the last one, or is there one more? Oh, one more. All right. Okay, and here we are in the home stretch. Final top coat, guys. I'm going on now with a matte top. I want to make sure I get it all the way to all the edges, because I don't want any shiny bits sticking out, looking weird. As they look now with this top coat on there before it's cured, that's what they would look like if you wanted them to be glossy. But this set, the way I had kind of designed it, it really needs the matte to soften everything up more and make them more delicate looking. And there they are. They've been cured and they're all done. If you like them, please give me a like. I'd really appreciate it. And if you want to see more, I upload a new one every Saturday. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And there we are with the finished picture. I think they turned out kind of nice. I actually like them. Anyway, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.